Hey guys, this could be a really quick video. We'll see how we go. It's just to demonstrate. So this vehicle's done 160 odd thousand Ks, hasn't had injectors yet. And there's quite a few people over the last few months that are concerned about vehicles blowing smoke on startup. So I'm going to try and demonstrate here on my own the standard amount of smoke on startup. And if you want to show me yours, you probably need to watch my video how to make a video, because, you know, for a start, you know, TVs aren't like that, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to demonstrate that for you. So when you make a video, have it in landscape like that, not portrait. Portrait's for taking a photo for a passport or something like that, right? Landscapers, you know, when you're looking at a landscape or making a video, just have a think about which way your TV is, and then think about which way you've been making videos for the last 10 years, and you can probably have a laugh at yourself. Don't worry, I think I used to do it as well. We all probably didn't think, but then eventually you go, what am I doing? Anyway guys, let's get this one started. This is without injectors, and my point I'd like to make before we even started is, the reason I'm using this one is I did see it blow a bit of smoke yesterday. You need to have all your basics clean, air filter, MAF sensor, things like that need to be clean, and everything in check and tune. If you've got a standard EGR system, it can blow a bit of smoke too, because it's blowing that dust build up of soot. You know, when you put the foot down or when you first start it up, you can have a bit of soot that just blows out, whatever the case may be. And vehicles do blow a bit of smoke sometimes. So I bet the wind out here today, if you're having trouble. And even once your injectors are done, it's probably going to be a lot better. But if you get a bit of smoke, it's what it is. You don't need to worry. You don't need a new engine. It's okay. Some of them, a lot of them do a little puff of smoke on startup. It's not a concern. You don't need a new engine or injectors and all that again. Once you've done all the right maintenance and you've put the right injectors in and the right procedures, you don't need to worry, unless it's something catastrophic. Let's have a look and see what we got here. I'm going to hit the go button and then sort of run to the exhaust quick as we can, right? So I'll just get it around this way first. Right, so there we go. I'm going to hit the go button. Today, nothing, right? So there was absolutely nothing, right, just then. So obviously it does vary. This is the thing, it does vary. Okay, this one, yesterday I saw it start up once clean, and once it blew quite a bit of, I didn't even get it. It happened that quickly, I didn't get a chance to even work out what smoke that is, because as demonstrated in other videos, there's really 3 different types of smoke. I'll just quickly recap. So you've got your, just think about old cars that used to burn, you know, the crappy engines used to burn oil, you know, it was blue smoke. People sometimes call that white, but it's more blue. That's your blue smoke, like oil smoke. It's got a bluey tinge to it, okay? Your diesel smokes, well, white smoke can be unburnt fuel. So if your injectors are leaking, you're going to inject the leaking a little bit. It's putting some fuel in there. It's going to blow like a bit of a white smoke. Don't worry about that misty stuff on cold mornings, you know. Don't worry about that. That's not what we're talking about. That's not smoke. That's like worrying about your hot water service putting steam out. It makes hot water, it makes steam. It's normal to do that. It's not smoke. Some people call that smoke. They call the plumber and say, I've got smoke coming out my hot water service, right? No, steam. And of course the third one is black smoke, and that's unburnt fuel, if you know what I mean. So, and I reckon what I saw yesterday was a bit of unburnt fuel, and I believe that by replacing the injectors on this vehicle, because they are due, it doesn't mean they're old and fogged and hammered. The idea is prevention. Let's do it as prevention, right? Okay, so they're worn, they're definitely worn. They've done 160 odd thousand Ks. They're 7 years old. They're pretty well right on point for our recommendation, 7 years, 170. That being said, because it's a 13, they're full DLCs. You could probably get a little bit longer out of them. But my other point is, it varies how long the seats under the injectors are going to last. So they could be about to leak. Let's just go back into the car for a minute and get out of the wind a little bit. So the injector seats could be about to leak. That's another reason to get the injectors out, to solve that seat problem. And the other one is, if you don't know the history. Now, if you've had the vehicle since new, and you know the servicing's been bang on, everything by the book and what I say, and oil changes every 5, and nobody's ever touched the fuel pipes, and you haven't ever put the wrong fuel in the car, and you haven't ever had any fuel contamination, so I'll add those little disclaimers in there, you can probably push them out to 200,000. But the problem is, once they've been out, or partly been out, contamination to the injectors, or have those injectors been pulled out and they've put it back in with the same seats, not cleaned the seats, not used a torque wrench, you don't know the history. That's what I mean. If you don't know the history, once it gets to around the 150, even if it's 8 years old and it's done 100, 120, you just want to get in there and nail it. And then you know you're good and you can relax. For 200,000 Ks, you've done everything possible and what works to help in prevention of any issues with these engines. Now, I just reread another post. It was a photo, really interesting actually. I should it's on this phone. I can't read it. I'm on a phone at the moment and I can't read it while I'm making a video, but it's someone in Guatemala or something like that, and they've got a 2017 Prado, okay, and they go on about, weren't these piston issues fixed in 2014, and this was, a couple of years ago, this screenshot I took, and they've got a cracked piston in a 2017 Prado. Now, it doesn't say whether it's a 1KD or a 1GD, so we don't know which engine, but my point is, people keep wanting to blame, it's not the injectors, it's the pistons, and there's a problem. There's not a problem with the pistons, okay? They just keep trying to make them stronger, but this is why it happens with other brands, and this is why Toyota have done revisions on pistons for years. You can't just make something indestructible. There's always a reason why it happens, okay? And at that sort of age, I'd suggest they need to check their fuel. They're probably a fuel and injection problem, injectors, bada bing. So whatever, guys, here's a video. It's a little bit shorter for you. What I'll do, I'm just going to have a quick, what else can I include in there? So basically, if you've done low kilometers and high Ks, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, I would recommend you change your injectors. If you've done high Ks, 200,000 Ks, and it's only 5 years old, I recommend maybe you can drive a bit longer, but I don't want to tell you to leave them in there, because those seats, I'll tell you again, just a quick reminder, generally they last over 200,000 Ks, okay? Now the ones they last over 200,000 is the ones that do high Ks, right? That's why I'm saying you can probably push it a bit. I reckon you're going to get 220, 230K, no problem. So here's a little bonus for anyone that's subscribed and watching, that's thinking, oh, it's only 4 years old, 170, I've got to do my injectors. No, if they're DLC, so that's 2013 onwards, okay, anything pre-DLC, I want them out anyway. They're not DLC coded. I want to get those bloody things out because the DLCs are superior, right? We want the DLCs in there. That's to give yourself the best chances. I know someone that put petrol through these, and look, we had a number of people contact us with this problem. Some people think, what do? I've put petrol in the diesel. Okay, well, depends on how much it is. Please, with that one, follow my information, and if you haven't figured out, send me a text message. Check my videos, search the videos, put wrong fuel in the in the diesel, in the Prado, whatever, okay, and we'll go through, because there's people that have put a small amount and then just filled it up with diesel. Their cars are still going good. There's no issues with injectors, no cracked pistons, no bad injector readings. I'm not saying it's good and go ahead and do it. I'm saying that you don't necessarily need to lose, if you put 20 litres of fuel in a 150 or 180 litre tank, to be quite honest, if that was my car, I'm filling it up with diesel, okay? So I've just told you that's what I would do. Some people might go, you're crazy or whatever. Good luck to you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drain my 180 litre tanks for 20 litres of unleaded. I'd probably go up to 30, 40 litres max on a full tank, right? And I'd keep it full. I'm going to drive it. Look, my preference of driving wouldn't be cold start, stop, start, and let it sit in there for ages. It'd be a cruisy highway run where the engine's not working. I'm going to get more diesel into it. Things aren't what they used to be. How can I say this? Well, so many people have done this and so much worse and not had any issues, right? So, bada bing, there it is. Unleaded in a diesel these days in the one. Look, we don't see any problems with these pumps, okay? We don't see any problems at all, right? DLC coded injectors. We've even seen them with, that's why we do the free contamination check, where people send the injectors back. They buy an injector kit, you send your we lend you the few tools and caps and bits and pieces, cleaning and crow's foot and whatever. You send them back to us. It is a lend, guys. Reminder, those things are a lend. Please send them back with your injectors for a free contamination check. And what we do, we check out, we've seen water through injectors. Just because you do get water or fuel through them doesn't mean it's going to damage them to the point that they are causing problems. Now, what I mean is, when you've got contaminant, when something happens, there's always a reason. Just because a contamination situation happens doesn't mean there's going to be a problem, okay? There's plenty of times contamination, wrong fuel, water gets through a system and doesn't cause problems. And that could be just the case with this vehicle as well. The injectors may be a bit damaged. Let's just give it a little rev before we finish up. Nice and quiet, 2013 full DLCs, but they'll come out soon. It's going to want an EGR clean. It's going to want new seats. We don't know the history, and it's about due for injectors soon, so something will be happening shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got something out of that, what's normal, what's not, and a whole heap of other information there, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn that bell on. The bell's next to the subscribe button so you don't miss the important next bit of information coming your way. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helps. See ya. And guys, just to conclude this one, I just took it for a drive. It's just a final road test. The vehicle we serviced yesterday, did a major service on. And I just wanted to say, as far as diagnostics go, everything looks okay. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, from the 09 onwards, you can't really rely on diagnostics. It's a very low on the importance level, to be quite honest. There's a lot more things that are going to go wrong before that tells you, with the injectors and the seats and this sort of thing. And eventually your valve clearances need to be checked anyway. Rarely are they out, so rare it's not funny. But so what I'd rather do is listen to it and drive it. That was the idea. So we had that video, we started up, we have a bit of listen, give it a bit of a rev. It sounded good right there, and I'm thinking, yeah, nothing wrong with this. And then I drove out, and I wouldn't say it was noisy as in anyone would pick up. It was a bit hard to pick up. So while it was cold, it was a 5-minute road test type thing. With the driver's window down, as I drove up under light acceleration, there's lots of different rattles. It is a diesel, they make noise. I don't want people to worry and replace injectors unnecessarily, but this one, when you get the reflection of things, so as we went past houses, fences, other cars, they had the rattle noise reflecting back to me. It was kind of quite a pre-detonation, not quite that really bad pinging rattle kind of, you know, but it was on the way there. So this one definitely injectors worn, even though they're full DLCs. I'm tipping that the pipes have probably been off and the injectors have copped some contamination. So the system's not working right. No, it hasn't got cracked pistons yet, but you know, I say there's always a reason, and all the ones that do have a cracked piston that we get to follow up, whether it's testing the fuel, testing the injectors, or finding out if the pipes have just been removed at a service or recently, whatever. And every time, and look, I'm just looking at this right now while I stand here. I'm just going to grab a light and I'll just point something out. I'll use my little pointer light, right? It's not that much of a pointer, but look, what I want to point out is, see that clamp there on the fuel line? I don't know if you can see that, but look, just in there, right? That clamp, I can see it's more squashed than it normally is. So that tells me the fuel pipes have been off because they've had the clamp off and on again. So the standard procedure is dirty engine, just rip everything off, bend the and we've told you in those nozzle seals there at the pipes, that's where all the dirt and crud accumulates. So I'm tipping, because if these are full DLCs, they wouldn't sound like they do. In my opinion, they've been affected and they're not working right. That's wrong combustion. Excuse me, it's windy. It's Allergy City this morning. That's what causes your wrong combustion and cracked pistons, right? Bada bing. Anyway, I'm out of here. Just wanted to let you know, because I made it look like, oh yeah, this is all good, nothing to worry about. It's not to worry about, but it probably needs, you know, a solution sooner rather than later. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. See ya.